So in past talks that you've given, you've said that nobody except for Bill Clinton is pro-rape, but but like on a college campus, as you know, like the sexual assault rate is incredibly high, and the schools and many people will do anything they can to cover it up. So how do you think that if there's no rape culture, how can we make a community or a society that women feel, or men feel more comfortable coming out and like reporting their assault?
Okay, so number one, it is not true that the rape rate on college campuses is higher than it is anywhere else in society. In fact, it's significantly lower. College-aged women in the United States who are at colleges are raped at a significantly lower rate, according to the Department of Justice statistics, than college-aged women who are not on college campuses. College campuses are a lot safer than women are in the general public. So the idea that there's this epidemic of rape that's happening on college campuses, no, there's rape that happens, and women who are usually targeted in rapes happen to be young, right, just as a general rule. And that means that women on college campuses are going to be targeted more than women who are 60 years old. But that does not hold true when you compare apples to apples, right? When you're comparing young women on college campuses to young women off of college campuses, the rape rates off of college campuses are much higher. Also, the statistics that are put out, like 1 in 5 women being raped on a college campus, these are just not true. There's no evidence to bolster that. The study that is often cited about that is a study that has been thoroughly debunked by a couple of professors at Northeastern University. It was basically a self-reported survey in which people reported their sexual assault, and the classification of sexual assault included things like an unwanted kiss, which may be not something you want, but is also not rape, right? And so trying to group all these things together is a bit of a mistake. As I always say to people, if the rape rate were 1 in 5 on college campuses, I would not send my daughter to college, right? I mean, I'd find another way to educate her where she wasn't on a college campus. With that said, how do we actually alleviate the problem? Well, the way that we alleviate the problem, and I think it's necessary to mention here that criminal violence rates in the United States have been significantly dropping since the mid-90s. So the crisis on campus, I think, is overstated. But with that said, every rape is an act of evil. Every rapist who is found to have committed a rape should be castrated or killed. I mean, and the truth is that men, the actual guardians of women against rape are men, right? I mean, it has to be men. And what that means is that men have to be taught from the time that they are young that they are protectors. And I hear all these slogans like, teach men not to rape. Okay, my father never sat me down and said, Ben, when you're out there at night with a woman, do not rape her. Like, this was never something that had to be said, because what my father taught instead was an affirmative virtue that you're supposed to treat women with. You're supposed to treat women with respect. You're supposed to treat them as individual human beings made in the mold of God. You're supposed to be protecting them. And men have a special role in protecting them, because men are built to either protect or destroy. This is what men do throughout human history. I can see it in my 2.5-year-old son. He's either building blocks or he's knocking them down. That's what he does, right? And if we as a society deprive men of their role in protecting women, and we say, you know what, treat women like a disposable object. In our sex-first world, treat women like they're a disposable object, and act as though women and men treat sex exactly the same. And then feed them a steady diet of media where we suggest that all women really want it. Right? Feed them the blurred lines mentality that even when a girl says no, what she really might mean is yes, because all girls really kind of want it. You do that, and you're walking into a buzzsaw. It's a huge mistake. I mean, listen, one of the reasons that I never had any of these problems and will never have any of these problems is because I'm a proud virgin until marriage, right? I mean, this is something that I think is actually a good thing. I think that promulgating societal standards of virtue and men defending women and men standing up to other men who won't defend women, that's actually what we need. But that can only happen when radical feminists say that we want men to do this. They're not insulted when a man opens a door or tries to pay for lunch. They're not insulted when a man says, listen, my job is to be the sheepdog. My job is to be the protector. Men and women are different, and they have different roles. And if men are not protecting women, historically speaking and currently, outside of Western civilization, women do not have the capacity to protect themselves. Okay, that is just a fact of human nature. Okay, in every other society, for the vast majority of human history, women were victimized by men. All the gains that women have men in Western society are due, yes, to women, but they are mostly due to a virtuous civilization that cultivated virtue in men. Right? It was good men who made the world better for women. It wasn't just women who made the world better for women.